Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Gnosis, and to close out Chapter 2 of Fortnite, we're going to be looking at the new map from Raider 464 that's already being called the greatest aim trainer in the history of Fortnite. And I'm going to give you a custom routine that I've been using to train both your shotgun aim and your tracking. Also, the creative code for this map will be in the description of this video, so be sure to grab that, and let's get right into it. So as you can see here, the drills of this map are broken down into shotgun timing drills on the left and tracking drills on the right. Now for our routine, we're going to split these into 2 days, where on one day we're doing shotgun drills and the next day we're doing our tracking drills. So starting with day 1, we're going to first load up the Pump 360 here on the top left. Alright, so once you load in, this drill is pretty straightforward. You just want to find where the red ball is and flick onto it with your shotgun and shoot it. Now this drill can be a little tricky at times because the ball can appear above you, under you, or behind you, so it can be very easy to lose track of it and sort of lose your groove. So my suggestion here is to get in the habit of quickly snapping your crosshair in different directions as you look for it, and then once you see it, make micro adjustments with your aim to just move your crosshair onto it for the shot. Also, if you're on controller, remember that aim assist exists for a reason. It's very hard to aim without it, and you do not have aim assist in these drills, so do not feel discouraged if you're struggling. Just know that if you can get crazy on controller aiming without that aim assist, once you're in real games, you will be so good at aiming. Up next, we're going to do bounce click timing, and this is similar to the first drill we just did, only this time our character is bouncing up and down, forcing us to hit shotgun shots while moving vertically. This is amazing practice for hitting shots against players moving up and down in build fights, hitting players when you're jumping up and down a layer, and just generally gives you a better crosshair control wanting to make adjustments while moving like this. Now if you're struggling to hit most of your shots on this one, I suggest staying on this until you improve before moving on to the next drill. This next drill is called Bounce Click Timing Hard, and as the name suggests, it's just a harder version of what we just did. Now this is going to be very difficult for most players starting out, but stick with it and you will be amazed by just how much your flick shots improve in just a matter of days or weeks. We're now going to skip ahead to Close Pump Bounce, and this is yet another drill where we're doing flick shots onto a round target, with the twist this time being that the target is very close to us. Now this very accurately reflects your close quarter fights in real games, and you should be able to notice after just a few times of doing this that you're hitting more and more one pumps against enemies who are in your box or just a few feet next to you in real fights. On to drill number 5, we're now going to be doing pop-up orbs, and on this one we have a silenced pistol, but this is still training our shotgun aim by flicking onto the targets. Now my suggestion for this drill is to flick between the targets as quickly as you can, but also be sure to be moving the entire time. It's very important to get comfortable aiming while you also strafe left and right, you crouch spam, just make yourself a harder target for the enemy to hit back. Next up, we have pop-up orbs high ground, which is like the drill we just did, only this time the orbs are under us. Now this is perfect for practice hitting your one pumps on enemies below you after you box them up, taking shots off high ground on late game, or even just getting shots on players who are building up to you. And unlike the last drill, I actually do not move when I'm doing this one. Now for our last drill for our shotgun day, we're going to come back up and select sentry ramps. By this point, your shotgun aim should be fully warmed up from doing the other drills, and this is where you put that practice to use by hitting as many perfect one pump headshots as you can. Now be sure to be moving the entire time you're doing this and only aim for the head here. This drill is so much fun to do and the perfect way to end the shotgun portion of this routine. Moving on now to our second day of the routine, this is our tracking day, and we're going to start here with bounce tracking. Now your goal here is to try and keep your P90 spray as centered on the round target as possible while bouncing up and down. And because of the bouncing, we're not able to aim down sights, meaning we have a ton of bloom from hip firing, and it will be very hard to land shots from a distance, even with good aim. So my suggestion is to always try to bounce towards the target while doing this. Next up, we have vertical tracking hard, and as the name suggests, this one really is quite difficult. The goal here is to keep your crosshair on the round target as much as you can while you fly past it going up and down. Now for me personally, tracking is by far my biggest weakness as a player, and this drill really just reminded me how far I still have to go. But I can say in the few days I've been doing this, I've already noticed a huge difference. So if you're struggling to do this, do not give up, because I promise you will see results so soon after you start this routine. Moving on, we have revolving tracking easy, but do not let the name fool you because this can still be quite difficult if you're like me and you are not the greatest at tracking yet. Now as soon as you drop in, this drill will automatically start spinning around in this giant circle, and all you're doing is keeping your crosshair as centered on the target as you can. Now if at any point you start to lose momentum or you stop spinning entirely, just do an emote and that will cause you to start spinning again. Next, we have revolving tracking fin, which is the same drill we just did, except this time with a much smaller target. Now this is honestly very hard, but also incredibly great practice for tracking. My suggestion is to try and be as smooth with your crosshair movement as you can here, making sure not to overcorrect by flicking if you get off target a bit. Having smooth crosshair movement is the key to tracking, and this is the perfect drill to practice at. And now finally, for the last drill of this routine, we're going to do overhead slide SMG. Now this drill can get crazy with how fast you're sliding back and forth over the target's head, and it's equally fun and nerve-wracking trying to keep your crosshair on the target as you continuously zoom past it. Now just like on the last drill, we want to make a focus to be as smooth as possible here with our aim. In my opinion, this is probably the hardest of all the tracking drills, but also the perfect place to end our practice, as it will have you fully warmed up and ready to go for real games. Alright guys, so there you have it, my routine to get the most out of the new aim map from Raider 464. Now if you found this guide helpful, it would mean the world to me if you can consider dropping a like on the video and subbing to the channel with notifications on if you're new here. And until next time, keep on grinding.